Broken down and defeated, detergent, busy and confused, sleeping. You're dying while I wait you to get started. On the journey chosen, wasted, now it's selected. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky. In my smile, I was so bad at what happened. Fall out of the sky and crush me in my smile. Sober, sad and jaded. They're not coming, they're broken down and defeated. You are dying while I wait you to get started. You are dying while I wait you to get started. I was so bad at what happened. Fall out of the sky, yeah. Crush me in my smile. I was so bad at what happened. Fall out of the sky and crush me in my smile.
I'm a motherfucking unicorn, a one-of-one. Divide being the love and light, then light and one. My karma is interstellar, I live by truth. Fighting evil, my scars are living proof. Protecting you from the storms with all my might. Love me, I will treat you right. You ever cross me, it's the last thing you'll ever do. With my crown of thorns, I'll wreck you. I ain't playing, yo, Bryan hard, call me a saint. Too bad Chris, because Bigfoot knows my name. I'm a messenger of God, with loyalty I serve. Taking out all evil with his holy word. A true Knights Templar, sword in hand. Slice you up, bury you in the sand. I'm a motherfucking unicorn, you'll never find anyone like me. Born in the Bronx, raised in NYC. So listen up, take heed. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. A true Knights Templar, sword in hand. Slice you up, bury you in the sand. I'm a motherfucking unicorn, you'll never find anyone like me. Born in the Bronx, raised in NYC. So listen up, take heed. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Crossing Realms Conference is coming this September 19th and 20th to the Eagleton Civic Center in Richmond, Missouri. Tickets to this landmark event are on sale right now at Eventbrite. The powerful speaker lineup will cover topics from Bigfoot, UFOs, and aliens, so you will not want to miss attending this amazing 2-day inaugural event. Again, that's the Crossing Realms Conference, this September 19th and 20th at the Eagleton Civic Center in Richmond, Missouri. Please mark your calendar and get your tickets before they vanish. Space is limited.
Holy Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly hosts, by the power of God, thrust into hell Satan and all the other evil spirits who prowl through the world, seeking the ruin of souls. Amen and amen.
Hey everybody, welcome to Third Eye Live. Bryan Bowden here. Mark Eddy. Mark's wearing clothes tonight, folks, so that's a good thing. We got a great show tonight. I've been following this gentleman since it just popped up on my For You or whatever the heck they call it. And we're gonna bring him in a minute, but he just does a great job. It's just the everything, the information, the presentation, the realness, and we'll get him in a second. I just want to stop and I think we should say hi to people. So, I want to say hi to John Straw Dog coming in, Kitty Cat Whack. We have Michelle Brandenburg, who's a psychic and paranormal network medium. She's here, Crypto Sunshine. I love this, Sunshine EPSG. We have we have a criminal in here. We have a jailbird in the studio right now, and there she is. She's out of Newfoundland. I don't know if she's still in jail, but there she is. JV from the Paranormal Newfoundland podcast of BOG team. We have a bunch of people that are just coming in and stopping by, and we'll get everybody. We got Cole's Paranormal in the studio. Look at that. The boys are back in town right there.
We're just talking about Keegan and Sam.
Yeah, we were just talking about Keegan and Sam. We have someone for you. Actually, Jen, we have someone for you too. And Michelle. So we'll make all the introductions, tell you how to get in touch with him, but he can also do that too. And we'll hook them up with that information. Oh my God, we have middle school teacher in town. We have a middle school Michelle. There you gotta watch the Michigan UFO sightings and oh God, you're gonna kill me again.
Paranormal.
Michigan UFO sightings and paranormal encounters. This is Wayne. Wayne, don't kill me. And Michelle, please don't kill me. They are blowing the lid off of UFO. Oh, there you go.
See, Michelle wanted to know if I was wearing socks.
He is wearing socks. Underwear is to be questioned. Harlan's here, but they are having this Sunday. They did an interview with a gentleman. I'm going to let you go over there. Go over to their channel. Watch this interview. And the next couple of weeks, after this interview, they may not be around anymore, they think. But I will not stop. Mark and I will not stop until we find you. I'm just going to let you know that. But again, let's get back to this. The guest. He is the ye old Goth Witch. And I was just scrolling through his stuff, doing whatever, the constant thumb up. And this guy comes on and he goes, "You want to do some witchy shit?" And I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, I want to see this. So we're going to bring him in. And we're just going to call him by ye old Goth Witch. We're going to keep names. And welcome to the broadcast, sir. How are you? I'm going to put you in the up square. I hope you're doing well.
Happy to be here.
Oh, it's thank God. You know what? The problem is when he's on TikTok and he's on all these, it's scrolling across the bottom scroll right now. It's in the description where his Patreon is, how to get in touch with him. He does readings. We're going to get into that. But the problem is when you're doing something right in this world and you're making a name for yourself, other creepy fucking assholes come out and they try to clone you and pretend that you are you, right?
Yeah,
So
I got a ton of copycats. I have an army of copycats and an army of haters, so I guess I'm doing something right.
you are doing something right. The haters is always there, but the copycats is really interesting.
Yeah, and I really have no idea why anybody on Earth would want to pretend to be me. I mean,
Same here.
like
I mean,
really, really,
yeah,
you want to be me?
yeah. You want my life? Okay, we'll swap for a little
Yeah,
bit and then see how quickly that lasts.
yeah.
But I was following his stuff, and it just so happened that, and we were talking a little bit backstage about this. He had, and I got to go find it. It's probably way down at the bottom of your, and I'm gonna go like this with your Instagram constantly, but he put together something that was so simple. And basically, if you have people that are talking shit about you or, or negative or whatever, and you want them to shut the fuck up, pardon the French, and you want them to stop talking about you, he put together something where, and I don't know the full, basically, you write their name on a little piece of paper, you fold it away from you a couple of times, everything's folded away from you because you're sending it out into the universe. Am I close on this?
Absolutely right. You always fold it away from you because you want it pushed away from you.
Right. And then, hey, Diane, and then you light it on fire, but I don't remember what you said. Like,
I would have to grab my book because I made that one a long time ago. I remember the spell, but it's not one I use very often. I actually wrote
I'm just going to tell you it worked.
I actually wrote that spell right after I got out of high school. Honestly, that's kind of an old one.
Well, I saw a couple of them where you were talking about other spells. We're going to get into this. We're going to get a little bit of background about the Old Goth Witch. And you said like after like this worked when I tried it in high school, and those guys, whoever it was that was an asshole, shut up, stop.
It was I wrote that spell on to use on somebody I worked with, and it cleared the situation up. But
oh, that's great.
Yeah, and it's in my book out there. I'd have to go grab it, but yeah,
not a problem. Well, we can discuss a little bit later, and if it's in the book and it's way down on the list,
it's also in the book I'm about to publish. So just FYI.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that too, and it's about I'm gonna throw you something else because I just saw something this today. We're gonna be talking about as well, but before we get into that, who are you? And how did you get involved in this witchy shit? Because it's a brief background. Because I asked you, this is great because this happens all the time when it comes out of left field. Hey, you want to be on my show? Okay, all right. I need a bio and a background. Fuck it, I've never written a bio.
Yeah, it's easier to talk about it than it is to try and write one. But
so then just talk about it and just tell them, how you got about to where you are right now.
I was born in Eastern Kentucky. Near the Appalachian Mountains, and my family's been in the Appalachian Mountains since the 1700s. I could pull up the ancestry.com and show it to you. But if you know anything about Appalachia, it's a spooky place. It really is if you've never been there. The Appalachian Mountains are older than the birds in the sky. They're literally older than death. The Appalachian Mountains were here when all the continents were joined together as Pangea, before anything else was here. And I was literally raised, my mother is a psychic, my grandmother was a witch, and her mother before her was a witch, and her mother before her was a witch. And they would stand on 10 toes in front of you and tell them they were witches. It was zero fucks given. She was about 4'10" of cuss words and spite. She chewed red man. She cussed like a sailor. She drank moonshine, and she cursed our neighbors one time. And I grew up leaving offerings for the Fae. I've been seeing ghosts and communicating with spirits since I was a child. And it was just something, it was just who we were, Yeah. It was just how the family was. I mean, in every holler of Appalachia, there's this family, back out by themselves that don't mess with people. But when you need something, you go talk to them. And we were that family. And this has just kind of been my life. And I didn't think anybody on earth was going to be interested in this. Completely true story. My entire goal for doing any of this was to get 1,000 followers on TikTok so I could do live DJ sets for my buddies on our nights off.
Well, see how one begets the other, though, right? So when you're looking for one door, some the other doors open, though.
Yeah, and I started talking about Nana, and the video blew, and one of the videos blew up, and like, okay, turns out people really are interested in my old hillbilly superstitions, and
There are a lot of people. I mean, the paranormal community is vast, and there are so many subsets of interest within it. But there's also a lot of connections. What I loved about it was you used to, it was starting off like my old mountain witch Nana. Did anybody else's old mountain witch Nana tell them how to tie a tongue or whatever it was?
yeah,
And I'm like, I love that because we've lost that type of that's important, and people have lost it today. They don't have families today. They don't have any connections with their families today. But
uh,
back in when you were doing it, mom and dad doing whatever they're doing, Nana was a part of your world, and they
she
taught you stuff, right?
she lived with me.
Yeah.
Like, she lived with us, and she was old by the time I came along, but we spent a lot of time together because I'm the baby of the family.
Right.
And so we spent a lot of time together, and we hung out a lot together, and it was just kind of something that was always there.
Yeah, it's
We was
like
cut from a
casting
different
salt.
cloth. That's the only way to explain it. When the old woman walked in the room, you knew she walked in the damn room.
Yeah, yeah. When you
Whether-
described her, I thought you were describing my youngest child, who's 13.
Yeah.
She's like, swears like a sailor, and my fault apparently. But what I love, like at any point in time on the family dynamic, when your Nana's like, listen, he's giving you shit, you do papa, and your mother, or was that your mom's mom or your dad's
Yeah,
mom,
that was
or
my mom's mom.
did your mom go, mom? Like,
She'd be like, I remember several times she'd crank her head around and she'd be like, Mama, you think he really needs to know that? He's in the first grade.
but you do need to know that.
And she'd be like, he needs to know it.
But these are important life lessons, and they come generation from generation from generation. We lost all that.
Yes.
My grandma, I was, my mother's mother as well. She didn't live with us, but that was my oasis. And she used to tell me different things. Like her dad was a notion salesman. So I said, he sold ideas, notions, right? And she goes, no, notions, like silk and different types of clothing. Oh, so he was like a Michaels, type of thing. And
Okay.
but when I freak people out because we took our kids over to the Pennsylvania Dutch, and we went into an old Amish house, which was the tour was given by a Mennonite woman, and they got the cell phones, they got the best of both worlds. Like, yeah, I got that Amish thing, but I'm watching TV and I'm chatting on my phone, and everything she pointed up, like, you know what this is? I'm like, oh, that's a button hook. You know what that is? Blah, blah, blah. And I just start spitting it out, and everybody, even the people that were with me, looking at me like, you ex-Amish or something? And she even said, she goes, Scare, can I ask you? I'm like, yes. Are you I forgot what it's called, ex-Amish? And I'm like, oh, no. I just know a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But this is what I love about, and then on one of the videos, I'm going through it, and he's wearing a Joy Division shirt, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yep, we're good.
My favorite band.
We're
I have a
good.
Joy Division tattoo right there on my forearm.
Love will tear us apart again.
Well,
So that's just, like, I just want to introduce you to everybody. And I've been at one point, you had the same problem with like some of the accounts getting pulled, or the algorithm you said on TikTok.
I'm still having the problem. I fell out of the bottom of the TikTok algorithm sometime last year, and I went from posting million view videos to, I think the last 10 I posted have gotten less than 1,000 views each. And it doesn't matter what I do, how I've done it, what I try and put up. They're dead in the water as soon as I put them up. If I make any other form of any other form of content besides witchcraft content, it doesn't even hit 100 views.
Really?
But yeah, and I'm constantly being bombarded with messages wanting me to buy promotional materials.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's okay when
Yeah.
you're buying.
yeah, that's where it goes and how it works. But
So most of my stuff I've been putting on Instagram. Most of my new stuff is going to be on Instagram because I don't know what happened with TikTok. It just does not like me anymore. It happened
It's,
to a couple of different
you know what?
creators.
It's fine that they don't like you. You know, you don't need to be liked by TikTok. And frankly, I think TikTok's going to go fucking bye bye. But this is his Ye Old Goth Witch. He's got the blue check mark. This is the real deal.
Yeah,
Um,
that's me on Instagram, I believe. Yep.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
you. And
I paid for it on Instagram because there's dozens of copycats of me everywhere else.
right. And you release a ton of content. I got to be honest. Like, I'm going to stop sharing for a split second there. You've reached, you know, you actually put out a bunch of content. So it's fresh and it's, you know, you answer questions. You do live streams, correct?
Every once in a while I do live streams where I do card readings and I'll answer people's questions. I haven't done one in a while because I've just had a lot going on this year. I've had a couple of different projects I've been working on with the book and in my personal life. So I was doing live streams on a pretty regular basis for about a year, and I just needed to take off and back off from it and take a break from it.
Yeah. This is our friend JV who has the Paranormal Newfoundland team. She's in Facebook jail now. But it's fine. You're with a season that just mention my name, you'll get a good bed. Probably one by the window. And as far as Mark Eddy, I don't know if he's in Facebook jail ever, but yeah, you know, I mean, I think I discovered you 2023, 24, maybe like around then, a
Yeah,
year ago, and I just been following, and I love. There's certain people that when they come up in the feed, I will stop. I will always heart it. I'll share it. I'm trying to, you know, help their algorithm out.
I
Okay.
appreciate it.
This is how I roll. Because I'd like it done for me and you know, just heart it, share, comment, like whatever you got to do, push them up so they become more desirable because I like seeing the content. Some of it is off the chart. We're going to get into some of that.
Do you think I'm going to start doing some YouTube lives again this year too?
That would be great. I think that's a great idea. Just you have a lot of, you know, do you have people coming into the YouTube or
I just want to start doing some stuff on YouTube, to be honest with you. YouTube is literally the last frontier for me. It's not one I've messed with a lot. It's not one I've ever made content specifically for. And so I think that's what I'm going to try.
yeah, I mean, you can do the YouTube live from your phone. You can do it from a computer. Another thing I would recommend highly because of all the censorship. And there we go. The Old Goth Witch. Welcome to Sir Bryan show. We definitely happy that he's yeah. Someone was saying the same thing. You could be getting shadow banned on some of the platforms, which is what seems to be happening when people are popular and for some reason they don't want to share their because you can get monetized on TikTok as well, and they don't want to share shit.
I was monetized. I am monetized.
So
It just completely fell off last year, and I have no idea why. And it felt like a real manipulation, is what it did. Because I was the only male witchcraft teacher, one of the only male witchcraft teachers on TikTok, and then all of a sudden nobody's seeing my stuff.
Were you given an email of explanation?
Yeah, I got a content warning for something that wasn't even in the video, and I got it appealed and won it. But when after the appeal and I won, my view count was in the dumpster.
Yeah.
So
And it's just slowly gone down to where it's been nothing. And it doesn't matter what kind of content I make. It doesn't matter if I make long form, short form, Mountain Witch Nana, let's do witch shit videos, red flags and witchcraft, any of it.
right, and crypto is saying you can send your TikTok to YouTube Shorts, then lives maybe,
Yeah.
just to help it out. But you know what? One of the things I was going to say is, if you don't have it, it's free anyhow. I would have a Rumble account and just always back up your shit to Rumble because Rumble's not going to censor you.
Okay.
You know, if you're doing the content, the problem is you only have so much space, and a lot of times, I mean, you're a creative person, so you're probably doing a lot of it not just on your computer, on your phone quickly, and then you upload a video. I would literally record the video, then edit it so I had it just in case, being past history, because I lost a ton of shit that I didn't, I said, oh, they're not going to take it down.
Right.
Meanwhile, count 3 later, they can go fuck themselves, the TikTok and the Chinese Communist Party. But yeah, there seems to be a lot of people, and even JV says it, there's a lot of content's getting flagged and banned for no reason.
Mhm.
I think
None.
it's a fight back. I'm not about censorship. I want people to, I want to know who the good guys are and the bad guys are. And TikTok, someone said TikTok doesn't like you. Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
TikTok does
doesn't
not like me.
I don't give a shit. 15 minutes after TikTok, I'm hungry again. Okay, it's like
Yeah.
Chinese food. The hell with it. I just want to find a place that you can be where you're not going to be tagged on everything. And Instagram's been pretty good so far.
I have not had a single issue with Instagram yet.
And do you think because you paid for the blue check mark that you
I don't that I can't really answer, but I can tell you this: there's some other paranormal and witchcraft creators I talk to that say the exact same thing. They've never had a problem on Instagram.
right?
You just TikTok for some reason. I'll give you a perfect example. My content warning was for illegal substances, and there was nothing in the video.
Really?
Yeah. I got one. It was for illegal substances, and there's nothing in the video. Nothing.
I've seen a majority of your videos, and it's some of the stuff, like if you're using oregano and you're cutting it up or certain leaves, it can look like it, but it's not. That's the problem with some of the stuff. But there's nothing I've ever seen that's even remotely looks like illegal or anything like that.
Yeah, it's TikTok's a crazy, crazy, crazy animal.
Yeah, well, you know what? I because of the bad taste in my mouth, and I don't want to have to keep on doing the same thing over and over and over again, and then getting an audience. I mean, I had a couple of thousand people. I was really picking up. I had 1 million views on a video I just shared. I reposted, and that's all gone. My music's on there, so it's like I really don't want to deal with any of the BS. But let's get into some of your work here. I love that stuff. You did a video, and I have some links, so if you want, we can show a video on it. But we're going to talk about different subject matter. You made a video about grounding jar and creating
A grounding jar, yeah.
And I just thought that was interesting. I've never heard of that before. Can you explain that and what the benefits of, and maybe even how to kind of like put it together?
So yeah, absolutely. A grounding jar. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that most people know what grounding is, where you ground yourself. And one of the ways you can ground yourself is by going outside and standing barefoot in your yard or on dirt or something like that, and releasing your energies back into the ground. Well, I knew a practitioner years ago that made these, and I just kind of filed it away in the back of my head. But you can make it for when like you're having a portable version. It's like being able to take off your shoes and ground yourself without having to do it all. You can just grab a hold of your jar and put your energies into your jar. And I knew another practitioner that told me this years ago, and I just kind of filed it away. And when I started doing a lot of readings, because when you do a lot of readings, it'll wear you out, and you tend to absorb other people's energies, and you tend to, need to be able to balance yourself out. So I made one, and I made it with graveyard dirt from my friend Wayne. That's a long story too. Well, that's a story too. I'll tell you that story if you want to hear it.
Well, it's not every day you come across graveyard dirt. I'm just going to throw that out at everybody.
I'll tell you that story in a minute. So you take a jar, you put some dirt in it. I put a couple of rocks in it, and I put some salt, some black salt, which is an element of my witchcraft in there. And I threw a piece of my favorite rock. There's 2 pieces of tiger's eye in there, and put the lid on it and hold on to it. You can make it and put it in your purse. You can make it and put it in your locker. You can make it and put it in your desk. But it's just a simple tool for whenever you need to kind of recenter your energies and you really
Right.
can't.
So it's literally taking your shoes off, but without taking your shoes off.
Yeah, you just wrap your hand around your jar and put your energies into the jar. And yeah. But do you want to hear the graveyard dirt story? It's pretty funny.
I gotta hear this because it's like it's not every day you get graveyard
Yeah.
dirt. So
So
go for it.
here's the thing. People have been using grave dirt in witchcraft for centuries. Here's the thing, though. I'm an ethical witch. Okay, I think if you're going to do things like that, you have to have a source of ethically harvested grave dirt. Don't
Right.
just go out and disturb somebody's damn grave. Okay.
Yeah.
How you come about that agreement, I'm just going to leave open. Everybody
Sure.
has their own methods. There's a lot of ways you can do it. However, the way I did it, my friend Wayne was dying. Okay. He had lung cancer and he had made the comment that he would he would do just about anything for a double cheeseburger and a beer. So I smelled opportunity. So I showed up at the hospital with a double cheeseburger, a beer, and my herbal pen supplement edition for my friend Wayne because he was in the hospital. He was going to die of congestive heart failure. It was either congestive heart failure or lung cancer. I don't remember which one it was off the top of my head, but it was something along those lines. It's been a few years ago. And
Right.
I said,
It's
Wayne,
very serious.
yeah, it was very serious. And he was in the hospital to die and he knew it. I said, Wayne, can I ask you a favor? He goes, I'm sitting in my fucking hospital bed. What the hell can I do for you?
That's
He's like, I'm
awesome.
going to die here. I said, can I have some dirt from your grave whenever you die? And he looks at me real puzzled for a second. He goes, you mean for your witchcraft bullshit? I said, yeah, Wayne, exactly. He goes, hell, take all you want. I'm hoping to come back and haunt my ex-wife anyway.
That's awesome.
So that was how I got this jar of grave dirt from my friend Wayne and how some of it wound up in my grounding jar video. And I've used Wayne's dirt in a couple of different videos, like the nightmare jar.
Well, it's so you I mean, I've been to plenty of funerals where you throw dirt on the casket and the sound of those rocks hitting it, it's that really, hits you. There's certain things like
Unnerving.
yeah. But that's really, really interesting. Because it's not like I mean, it is accessible if you're visiting someone in the graveyard and they've dug up for a next service, nothing's stopping you from putting a jar
Yeah.
full of it in your pocket. But it's just what it is.
Yeah, it with the story you're talking about with your
We got people
friend,
in chat right now doing a little Monty Python, so it's good. It's not dead yet. Go ahead.
it with the example of your friend's terminal illness and the talking with them about using the grave dirt. Is there some like kind of connection to Dracula and having to be buried in just Transylvanian dirt? Is there some kind of overlap there?
No, not that
Okay.
I know of. I happen to know a little bit about vampirism, but no, not that I could say. I don't know. That's not one I could really comment on. I don't think so. I don't think there's an overlap to it. It's more having someone else's earthly energies in a organic form, so to
Right.
speak, than it would be anything like that. But yeah, it's more about having someone else's essence and energies and possibly their spirit to help with your workings. And Wayne was hoping to come back and haunt his ex-wife anyway, so
Well,
the night of his funeral, I leaped back over the fence and I went in there with my little spade, my mayonnaise jar, and helped myself.
yeah, well, he gave you his blessing, so it's there's nothing wrong with that. My well, so one of the friends that I had growing up, Min Motoshita, otherwise known as Mike, Crazy Mike, Chinese Mike. He was Korean though, or Vietnamese, but he unfortunately was the only American blown up in the London bombing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that was a rough time at there. But we had someone go over representing the family, pick up the his remains and the pieces, and they cremated him. And his mom and dad actually gave away little jars of Mike, and they asked me, and I'm like, no, because I believe death is a certain it's a very important thing and process on how you handle the dead, and that's where I am in my belief system. But while we were there, all of us, we went up to the top roof of the church. I forgot it's the big church right next to Grant's tomb in New York. I forgot the name of the church. Very, very famous. And we're all hanging out up there, and Nick gets out and rolls a joint with a little mic in it. And he goes, "You want to smoke some mic?" And I'm like, "Well, no, I'm good." So they went around smoking mic, and I'm like, "No, that's not a good thing to do."
Tupac's band, The Outlaws, did that after he died.
Really?
Yeah, The Outlaws spoke Tupac's remains after his ashes.
I can't.
No,
It's
I'm firmly behind you on that one. I can't do it.
No. It's not even cannibalism, and that's a wholly different subject. We're not talking cannibalism or vampires today, but vampires are actually on the rise right now, the subject matter. So if you want to start getting some hits.
That's one of those things that always pops up every few years for some reason. Vampires. Everybody wants to live forever. I don't know why everybody wants to live forever, but everybody wants to live forever.
Yeah. No. I definitely wouldn't. Old Goth Witch, you'd love Mark Elliott's Faults and Alan Bishop. I don't know who they are personally, but we'll find out who. Yeah, it's I don't want to live forever. It's too expensive, and there's too much bullshit you got to go through.
I would get bored.
Yeah, even with your witchcraft, you still be like, do I want to be a chaos witch now? Do I want to?
Yeah, I mean, if I was immortal, I would get bored quickly because in about 20 years, I would run out of video games to play.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, wait, let's. I'm going to ask: are you a Xbox, PS5, or whatever the hell?
I'm actually really into retro games. I have a PlayStation 4 that I rarely play, but I play like Nintendo games way more than I play anything else.
Okay, so I was going to say Nintendo, but yeah, the old school graphics and
yeah, I like. After I had a Nintendo 64 when I was in high school and GameCube, and I don't know, I like the old stuff more than I like any of the new stuff. Now, with that being said, I do play Call of Duty once in a while.
yeah, no, I mean, like I remember playing the video games, Xbox when it first came out. I actually wanted to the Pepsi stuff where you would take a cap off and type in the code and you win. You put some codes in. So I actually won a free one, which was great. But I knew about Xbox when it was well before it was coming out. And I remember going into the store, pre-ordering it a year or two plus. And I would go in and like, "Where's my Xbox?" Like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "You don't know about Xbox?" And then it would be like an epiphany for some people. But I like the old school games, which were more fun, a little more challenging, and there wasn't all this BS online. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do play online games, but it is a great way to decompress from the day.
Castlevania is the greatest video game series ever made.
That is a good series, actually. But so okay, we got into Graveyard Dirt. That's pretty interesting. Now, a lot of stuff when you're doing witchy stuff, and you get people asking you for spells and stuff like that as well.
Yeah. I get people ask me to write them custom spells, and I get people that ask me to do spell work for them. But I do get a lot of people asking me, well, can you do one on this spell? Can you do one on that? Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? And typically, for the most part, I don't.
Right.
I don't actually take requests for content most of the time. But yeah, that happens a lot where people will want me to show them to a certain type of spell, or they'll ask me to do a certain one for them.
So I know you do readings for people, and they can contact you through. We'll go through Instagram. Let's just keep it in one location or whatever's easier for you. Um, and his stuff. Old Goth Witch is it's all scrolling underneath, but it's also in the description. So all the links to him will be in the description. Even I have a just so you know, I have a what the heck's it called? Linktree link for you as well. Um and hopefully that works out. But when you do, are you primarily a card reader?
I am primarily a card reader. Yeah.
Okay. So
I
we're gonna, yep,
I
keep
started
going.
reading cards when I was 5. I do it with the deck of playing cards like this. I can do tarot. It's just not my favorite thing to do. I actually
You
learned how to do this from my nana. So
you are the second person I've ever known that does card readings with a regular deck of cards.
I'm. It's more comfortable to me. It's almost natural.
So do you, if someone comes to you for a reading, a card reading, do you turn the cards for them, or you have to have them get a deck and then shuffle it a
Oh,
couple
I
times?
do it for you. I do every one
Oh,
of my
okay.
readings. I'm glad you asked that because I get asked a lot of questions about this one. I do all of my readings completely cold. I don't want to know any information about you. I don't want to know anything about the situation, whatever. We arrange a time, we arrange payment. I sit down on Instagram Messenger, hit the camera, and we talk. And I sit there and I draw the cards in front of you and I tell them exactly what there is to say. But I do all of my readings completely cold. I do them completely off the cuff, and I've been told I'm pretty good at it. I like to think I am.
Well, the more you know, the more you use your abilities, the stronger they become, and then they beget other abilities.
I've been
So
doing this since I was 5, so
yeah, it's well, I haven't been, I have a collection of tarot cards. I don't actually do it. I don't need to use them. So I just need your permission for the energy so I can go read you. And I
yeah.
ask you, can I read you? And if you say yes, and then you ask me a question. I've had people, I do a lot of pro bono, we'll call it free readings, and it's usually helping people, stopping them from kill themselves, which I'm fine with. But I do have a people that do pay me for readings as well. And I had someone go, "Okay, tell me," and I'm like, "Tell you what?" Well, you're a psychic. Tell me. I'm like, uh, it don't work that way. Do you ever have people,
Yeah, I have a
come
lot
in
of
and
people
say,
that message me wanting me to do psychic work for them, and I have to stop them, and I have to be like, I've never once claimed I'm a psychic ever. And they're like, "Oh, you don't do that?" And I was like, "No, that's not in my wheelhouse, man."
yeah, I mean, I actually am. So, and it's weird. But I've been doing this, like, how you said, since you were 5 years old or younger, this is something there's innate ability that comes from the line of, your grandmother, maybe your grandpa had it too, and maybe the other side of the family had it, and it just comes in and it's through you.
Yeah,
But I was doing some weird stuff when I was younger. I knew people were going to die. I knew people were coming. I knew if you tell them the truth or not. And I just kind of I just thought it was normal stuff, you
yeah,
know, until later on when I was informed, like, wow, you have a lot of abilities, but you keep walls up. And I'm like, damn straight. I live in New York City. I have the walls up and the club and an
the
alarm
old
on.
witch, the old witch was good at it. I mean, like she would tell you your deepest, darkest secrets.
Now,
She
right off the bat, if you walk through the door and she was like, up, and you asked her a question, hey, can you help me out? And she would know exactly what you wanted and say, this is your problem. And you'd be like, oh shit. Was that
she
kind of like good?
um I remember one time my aunt asked her something, and I don't exactly remember what my aunt asked her, but she flipped over one card and said, "Your husband's having an affair on you with his secretary,"
Wow.
and he was.
Oh
She hired
man.
a she hired a private investigator and found out a week later that he was, and she was just that damn good. You could walk up, ask her a question, she'd take her deck of cards out, and she'd listen to your problem. Okay.
And then you go
And
boom.
she'd flip over a card and tell you the answer to everything.
And did she have to go through the full deck, or did she have to just go through 3 and like, well, more would be clarity, right? If I'm correct,
What's that?
more would be clarity. So if you come in
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, there's an affair, hold on, okay, office, boom, boom, and the more you throw the cards, or does she always go? Did she always go through the full deck of cards?
She would only go through a couple of cards. Like
Yeah,
she would just sit and shuffle the deck, and she would only lay down a couple of cards, and she'd tell you all kinds of stuff.
that's awesome. That is so. There was no hiding anything from Nana.
No, there was no hiding anything from her. And my mother's a psychic too, so I couldn't hide anything from her either.
Yeah, those are tough. Yeah,
My mother would look me straight in the face and go, "You're lying to me."
yeah, and you're like, well, I
Okay.
mean, like the way I do it is so like when I meet somebody, and it doesn't matter who it is and where it is. If you tell me something and you tell me like, oh, this happened and whatever, I see it playing out in my head.
Mhm.
I call it my mind's eye. That's how it plays out. And then if you're full of shit and you're lying, it's black. Now the caveat is if you're hanging out with your buddies and someone wants to get, like some guy tells a cool story and someone else like, yeah, this happened to me too, and they want to be buddy buddy with each other, I give you a leeway and a pass. But I know a ton of things about people, um, and it's just great when someone tries to bullshit you. We got Michigan UFO and sightings paranormal encounters. It says sounds like his grandmother was an intuitive and even used cards as a channel.
Oh, that
Um,
woman was in everything.
yeah,
That's yeah, that woman was in everything. She was
and how angry did your family get? Yeah, we all get in trouble, but if some kid was giving you, like crap, they were like, "Oh, I'll take care of it," and your mom's like, "Mom, bring it down a level."
yeah,
Yeah,
my first day of school, I made a video about this long ago. You can still find it on TikTok. My very first day of school, in order to get me in the car, that woman, Nana, read my cards for me and then told me that if anyone was mean to me, she'd hex them.
you need a
Yeah.
nana in your life. That's what you
Yeah,
need.
I remember this clear as day. My mom is, trying to get me, and I'm like, I was not going to school. I didn't want to leave my dog. I didn't want to leave my nana. I didn't want to leave home. I was not having this.
Right.
My mom's trying to get me in the car. My dad is over by the car smoking a cigarette, and that Salem and his patients are getting shorter by the moment. And she came out of the house, and my mom goes, "Mom, not now. We don't have time for this now." And she goes, "Shut up. Come here." And she goes, "You want me to read your cards for you, baby? Tell you what kind of day you're going to have?" And I'm like, She's like, "Nobody's going to be mean to you. If they are, I'll hex them."
There you go.
Okay.
But you had a video once saying that all you sometimes need to do is just put it out there that you are a
Yeah, you would be surprised the way people look at you after they find out you're a witch, because I can't hide this anymore, right? It's
right.
I have people at work that know I do this at my regular job. I get recognized in public, not on a regular basis, but sometimes. You would be surprised at the way people look at you different when they find out what you're really into in life.
Yeah. No, and it's a good thing. It's kind of like a little security thing around you because they don't know what you can and can't do. So they usually treat you with a lot more, kid gloves, I think, right? For the
Yeah,
most
people
part. Or
people tend to keep their distance from me now that if I don't really know them real well, and I'm okay with that.
no, I get it because the society today, yeah, you need some distance. But
Yeah.
Adventurer said, I need a grandma like that. Yeah, we
We
all do.
we all needed one like her.
Yeah, I'm a dad like that, not that I'd hex your ass, but I know I know who I got to go to and what I have to do to take care of any problems. And when you get into kids, and grandkids, especially grandkids, your parents that treated you probably not the greatest. I'm not talking about you personally, but in general, like, oh God, they were so evil, whatever. Once grandbabies come, they're just like, it's okay, honey, right on the wall.
Yeah, right.
Like you would have killed me growing up. But yeah, that's
It
actually pretty sweet. Go
it
ahead,
it,
Mark.
it is with your Poe T-shirt. Does that just happen to be a clean shirt? Like,
Oh, I went to the
yeah.
gym earlier.
Okay, is it? Oh, okay.
This is my weightlifting shirt. It
Oh,
says
okay.
Edgar Allan Swole on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
I got home. I got home from the gym, had enough time to eat, do a couple other things, and then I had to, then I was on your show, so I just never changed clothes. But
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. That's
it says
basic.
Edgar Allan Swole on it. I've got another one that's got William Shakespeare on the front of it, and he's all jacked, and it says, "Dost thou even hoist, brother? Do you even lift, bro?" In proper old English.
We had a show about we had what was her name again that came on talking about how
Catherine
Shakespeare was full of shit.
Chilton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
That was a show I had to broadcast from the neighbor's house because of
oh yeah, the flooding in West Virginia.
yeah.
Yeah. He had like his little stream in the backyard. Well, when if you live in the mountains, you're
Yeah,
cool, but if you live just below or in the holler and that little stream becomes like 10 foot,
yeah.
you flash flooding. So Mark found out the hard way.
Mhm.
And we have a couple of teachers in the chat, really cool people. Michelle is part of the Michigan UFO and the other half. And she's English teacher, so she loved what you were just saying. But
Yeah.
someone asked in like, can you do cards for Bryan? I don't need cards done for me. I already know my life's fucked up. But if I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot, but maybe if Mark had a question or anybody else, you have a question for Ye Old Goth Witch,
I'll
put it
do
in the
one.
caps.
I'll do one because I don't give out a lot of free readings. I will do one.
So there we go with that, and we'll see who pops up first on that end of the spectrum. The problem with Mark is well, he has his clothes on. He always talks about going naked. So
Yeah.
so another thing, I saw another video about a broken heart jar. You have a lot of people with love. Love spells are either for or against, right? Like
I
someone
don't do love spells.
you don't. Well, well, the broken heart jar. What is that for? Just
That was a self-healing jar.
Okay.
For experiencing a heartbreak. But I don't do love spells. Why would you want to start a relationship with a hostage situation?
Oh no, I agree with you wholeheartedly. If you have to put in a spell, it wasn't meant to be to begin with.
Exactly. But I went through a pretty bad breakup when I made that video. So yeah, that's a self-healing jar spell. I like making self-healing jar spells, and I like making the spooky shit is what gets the views, but witchcraft isn't all cursing and hexing and wishing ill will on each other.
Right. So
Self-care is of and in and of itself witchcraft. So
yeah, I know you can kind of gauge when the breakup was, and you did great videos. I would have done the same thing, like top 10 reasons to date me type of thing.
yeah,
I like that. I was like, you know what?
that was pretty funny.
It
That was just me
work, right? I mean, I don't know.
Me amusing myself. And then I did top 10 reasons not to date me.
Yeah, well, see, you give the good and the bad, and then ladies go out and figure it out.
Yeah.
But
my favorite videos I've made, though, completely off topic, are the real life things my dad said to me growing up. Have you seen those?
No, I didn't see the. I mean, like I'm going through. I don't remember that one.
You'll come across that one. I recently just posted another one last month, but it's real life stuff my dad said to me growing up. Perfect example. Hey boy, why don't you get your cards out and get me some winning lottery numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the I always ask whenever I have somebody who's psychic or I'm going to a psychic, or you usually get the local fair.
Yeah.
If you lived where you lived up in Florida or whatever, they always
I'm
have
from Kentucky and I lived in Florida for a while.
Right, but they always have we have the fair, like we have the Florida fair, and it's the same fair. It's like the Orlando fair, and it's the same carny people going from point A to point B. But usually they have like people that they'll give you a less expensive reading. We'll just say, hook you reel you in, call me, we'll pray and we'll do whatever. But I'm always I've grown up in New York City. I just sit there and I don't move, and you kind of can't play the body language with me for the most part. And I'm also intuitive, so I know a lot of things. And so I do test people when it comes to stuff like that. But
Oh, I love screwing with them.
oh, I
Absolutely love it.
it's fun. I actually had someone where, I mean, they must have, they were talented, but they were trying to take people for whatever. That's bad mojo, in my
Yes, it
opinion.
is.
You're gonna get that shit back at you worse. And she wouldn't read me. She was reading everybody and listening to what she's saying, like, if you need to curse off, if you need to, and like, read me. And she goes, "Oh no, we're closed." I said, "But you were just doing it." And
That's
she just
funny.
looked at me with fear and said, "No, we're closed."
No, we're
I said,
closed.
Okay.
That's awesome.
I just want to protect people from bullshit. I don't want, the situation. But your readings, um, I'm with what you know and what you grew up with and how you've been doing it. I have no doubt you're doing really good with it, wholeheartedly. And I love the fact, that was what I was going to say with the broken heart jar is, you talked about, it's not just creating this jar. It's about, like, you got to care for yourself first.
Yeah, I mean, you have to look out for yourself. At the end of the day, nobody's coming to save you. I mean,
No.
that's just all there is to it. At the end of the day, no one is coming to save you but yourself. And
Yeah.
so you have to look out for yourself.
Which
And
that's
self
huge.
care is witchcraft. I mean, healing yourself and taking care of yourself. I mean, it doesn't get much more basic than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I just see a guy that's in here right now is wonderful, Vincent Richardson. Hopefully, he'll get you on as well. And welcome back to the broadcast. It's good to see you, brother. Um, but I love that, there's a lot of positive to his videos. It's not just like, there's some interesting stuff, like, whatever, but like, here, do this to shut people up. Here's we're gonna get into some other stuff, but one of the things you did was rain on your parade.
Yeah.
And
The rain on your parade spell. That
I
one, yeah.
you know what? I love that. So basically, what was the spell about? It was basically to, like, to somebody.
I wrote that for a loudmouth jackass I used to work with.
Oh,
He was always this guy was always cooler than you. This guy was always had better experiences than you, yada yada. But he was actually kind of a piece of giant white trash. He was a drunk. He had been arrested for domestic violence and a bunch of other stuff. And it's for shutting up a loudmouth is what it's for. And I specifically sat down and wrote that spell for this guy I worked with, and his life kind of went to shit not long after that. But he was very braggadocious. He thought he was the A1 savior of everything when
right.
in reality he peaked in high school.
Yeah. So okay, I gotcha. So, but like, okay, so you said you wrote that specifically. Are there? I'm just I'm trying to figure out the phrasing. Are there rules to the road in how to create another spell that's new?
No, no.
Really?
Um, Spellcraft is actually really simple. Okay. You start with basic ingredients. Certain stuff works for certain stuff. Now, it honestly depends on who you ask what works for what.
Right.
Okay. And it honestly depends on who's read what book. I'm never going to say any one way is the right way or not. And I'm never going to say anything specifically so that no one turns and translates that into an ironclad rule. But
Right.
there's certain stuff, basics, herbs, spices, rocks, dirt, candles, uh, oils, easily accessible. The term is called kitchen witch that you use as conduit for what you're trying to do. Intention is absolutely everything in witchcraft. You have to mean it. You have to really mean what you're doing and what you're wanting to do. So
Yeah.
the intention and the energy you put in it and behind it is half of it. The ingredients are kind of sometimes secondary, but not really.
Well, I mean, I you mentioned I just saw something tonight. It was coming on. I wanted to get your Patreon on the correct way, and you said something about cloves and how the properties of the clove are almost a great additive to whatever you're creating.
Yeah. There's certain cloves are one that you can add into any spell that you can use. Coffee grounds is one that you can add into any spell that will make it speed up faster. If you want to make it whatever you're working on have a little bit more kick, a little bit more pep to it, add chili powder. I believe in the whole keep it simple, stupid method.
No. I appreciate that, but I'm sure that there are certain like herbs like that will, if the herb makes you sleepy, that will kind of distract from you being alert enough to do something. If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
okay, so that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking like there it is. You got this big book, it's opened up, and there are all these little Excel sheets. Like if I do this to this to this, but I know it's a lot of it. It's up here. You just know what you know,
No, I
and
actually have a book with all that. I wrote it down in. So
no. I'm sure you've mentioned that a couple of times that you were writing it down, but I'm like, and you also mentioned, we're gonna get to your book in a second, but you also mentioned doing a series on the Patreon.
yeah, I'm gonna start. I have a Patreon. It's $2 a month, but I haven't done a lot with it in a long time. I'm going to start doing more, um, like a basics series on there. More of like a teaching platform than just
Right.
content. And I'm going to start making some videos over there with that this winter. And
That's
when it cools
I
off.
thought that was fantastic. And I guess, the best thing also to do is Vincent was talking about intention, permission, initiation. Yeah, I mean, intention in anything you do is key for everything.
Yeah.
It's like the old movie with Roddy McDowell and the vampires. I forgot the damn name of it. And he's the old vampire hunter on TV. And at the end of the movie, Fright Night,
Fright Night.
and the vampire
Amanda
comes
Beard.
down, and Roddy McDowell puts the cross up, and he keeps coming. Goes, you have to believe, and that's the intention. You have to believe.
You
And then
absolutely have to believe it. If
and
you
then he
don't believe
really,
it, it's not going to work.
yeah, it was a great scene in that movie. And it's 100% great. But I love the fact that you're going to do this Patreon series. But I mean, it's not a bad idea. Book 2, throwing something like that together. Local guide to X, Y, and Z.
This video, my book's called "Let's Do Witch Shit." Um, it's
When is it?
it's
When
called
is it?
"Let's Do Witch Shit."
Isn't it going to be on Amazon, or is it on Amazon?
It's going to be on Amazon. I'm hoping to get it all wrapped up in 2 weeks because
That's great.
I've hit a number of delays with it. You'll be able to buy it in printed form or on Kindle, and it's some of my it's spells from my content. It's some anecdotes, some stories, some ingredients, some theory. It's a hodgepodge basically. I'd always wanted to write a book, and then I decided let's write a book on witchcraft. And my friend Lauren helped me edit it and kind of put it together and format it. And she's on the cover, Lauren Hawthorne. But yeah, it's kind of a back to basics, ground roots approach to witchcraft.
That's awesome.
Because
That's
honestly, cool. A lot of the books out there on witchcraft are regurgitated bullshit. I have a personal axe to grind with a company called Llewellyn Publications. So
I know it.
I think Silver Raven Wolf was a pen name. I've read almost every one of those books, and it's regurgitated bullshit.
Oh,
They basically just say the exact same thing in every book and put a different title on it.
I've heard from people that did work with them and moved away from them. And I'm paraphrasing. I'm not going to mention names, but a lot of the new popular people that came out are just made up people taking other people's shit.
Yeah, I honestly think Silver Raven Wolf was a pen name. I really do, because and if she hears this and contacts me and wants to argue about it, great, but I don't really care.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
it was regurgitated Gardner. It was regurgitated
said.
Scott Cunningham. It was regurgitated, you know, Crowley. It was regurgitated a lot of stuff, put through a filter and made all pretty so that they could sell it in the 90s.
Right.
And that's why Wicca fell off just as quickly as Wicca picked up. You know what I mean?
Well, it's interesting. So I used to be friendly with someone who does hoodoo voodoo, and they were having a problem because Barnes and Noble, the bookstore, was taken over by a very Christian company,
Yes.
and they were getting rid of this stuff because it was anti-Christian or whatever it is. Um, you know, and but if you pay to play, and that person wasn't going to pay, it's like they'll get their books elsewhere. But I agree with you. There's a lot of regurgitated crap. It's interesting. So I follow a couple of card readers on Instagram. I follow a lot of them, and I can tell now who's giving the real reading and who's stealing from that person.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Oh, I'm not going to name names. There's several content creators on
Yeah.
TikTok I would line up to box.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
there's a guy. There is a guy on there right now that claims to be a psychic medium that will get you in touch with your dead relatives for $45, and I just want to jack that guy straight in the nose.
Yeah. Yep. I think I know exactly who you're talking about.
I'm like, bro, it does not work like that because I've seen and talked to witchcraft aside, I've seen and talked to ghosts since I was a child too. So did my nana. That's not how it works.
No.
That's not how it works at all. And your dead relatives are not sitting up here like in an operating theater waiting for one asshole to get your $45 to come down and talk to you.
86. Oh, that's me.
Yeah. It's
Tell
like
my nephew.
cold cuts. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not how it works. It's like the guy from Ghost Adventures. Have you ever seen that show?
Oh no, I know. You Zach.
Zach, whatever. I want to box him. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, not every place is haunted. You can't go into a trance everywhere. This is why people don't talk to us.
Well, that was like that old English show, Most Haunted.
Yes.
And Nigel, whatever the guy's name, I forgot his name. He would go, Mary.
Yeah, Mary.
Yeah, every fucking time.
Every fucking time.
Oh, Colin, what's going on in there, Mary?
There are a lot of phony card readers out there.
Well, what's great about it is they have these people, right? And I know who the real card readers are. And then if you get the real people, the real deal, they're the ones first saying it. They come out with it first. Like, July is going to be a wonderful month if you're the 4 cardinal signs and blah, 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 blah. And then you see all the people that are followed by, and then you see like this person and and they're all fucking card reading. And wouldn't you know it, when you go to their video one day that week, within a couple of days from it, or even within a couple of hours, July is going to be wonderful for all the cardinal signs. Oh, go figure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and the other one I see a lot on TikTok, Instagram, and just in person, a lot of fake card readers will tell you exactly what you want to hear.
Yep.
And that's all they'll tell you. They'll only tell you exactly what you want to hear. Me, on the other hand, I'll tell you everything you don't want to hear too. But there's a lot of people on TikTok and Instagram that do nothing but blow sunshine up your ass and keep you coming back for more of that happy feeling. I don't do that.
You know what? When I was on the Three Beards podcast prior to this, I was a guest on the show because I do all these weird, stupid shit. And they said, "Oh, we like the way you think and what you say." So we came on. So we had John Russell, who's a very well-known psychic around the world. He lives in the West Coast of Florida.
Yeah, I know who John Russell is.
Yeah, whenever I say the West Coast, folks, I'm not talking California. I wouldn't fucking go to California if you paid me. So Craig asked the question behind, backstage when it was all over, like private. And I said, "John, can I ask you a question?" And I asked him, and he goes, you want to hear what you want to hear, or do you want to hear the truth? And I don't have time for I want to hear what I want to hear. I'm like, tell me the fucking truth. I don't have time.
Right.
And he said, everything you're seeing and experiencing is true about X, but not going to happen, and why, and you could see why. And I'm like, okay, cool. I appreciate that more so than Like, and just this is another reason why I knew exactly who you would be and why you would, be awesome on the show. You're the real deal. You don't pull punches. You seem like a great individual and like really cool, but you don't fuck around. Like,
I'm
you treat
bluntly
me like,
honest. I,
yeah,
I, to a fault. Here's my thing on it. Don't ask me a question you don't want the answer to. Okay, I'm going to answer the question whether you like the answer or not is on you.
yeah. I mean,
and and
the
I
truth.
just pride myself on being bluntly honest because people aren't anymore.
No,
Yeah.
and it's really well, my kids aren't too thrilled. I have a 17-year-old and 13-year-old daughter. Um, and I've been doing this since day one. Dad, I'll tell them the truth and like, Dad, you hurt my feelings. That's really upsetting. You hurt me. And I literally and said, fuck your feelings. Get up, pick your pants, put your big girl pants on and move on. The truth sucks. No one wants to hear the truth.
Nobody wants to hear the
Okay?
truth, and nobody wants to be
Yeah.
real anymore.
I don't have time to play the game and like, oh honey, you okay? No, I'm gonna do to you what was done to me. Walk it off. And control your feelings. It's not about your feelings, it's about truth. And that's important in life. There's too many people that are in the entertainment industry that have yes people around them. Yes man, yes woman. Oh yeah, you're the best. Yeah. Dude,
Right.
don't blow smoke up my ass. I don't
Yeah.
appreciate it.
And that's why I'm like that. I don't blow smoke up my ass. Do not blow
Yeah.
sunshine up my ass. Do not blow happiness up my ass.
Yeah.
Um, it's one of my pet peeves, and that's why I am the way I am about it. I've had people get quite upset with me during their readings, and I'm like, hey, listen, you paid me, not the other way around. Okay,
Exactly. If you're not happy with it, then do something with your life.
you're the one that came to me about this,
Right. I mean, but
and you wanted answers.
so speaking of readings, have you ever had like what is the strangest or like some strange readings that you've had? Like you're
Oh
like,
God, I just
oh
made a video
God.
about this one. I just literally had one of the strangest readings of my life. Okay. This really happened. I had a woman pay me for a reading to find out why some of the leaves on the bush by her mailbox were missing and why one of the branches was broken. She lives in the middle of the woods in upstate Pennsylvania, like way out in the woods down a dirt road. And I'm like, she sent me pictures, and I'm like, my guess is going to be an animal. She's like,
Oh,
you don't see this as a sign of anything? And I was like, that you got a varmint infestation somewhere. Uh, I mean, because it wasn't even that damage, but she paid me to do a reading about that, and I happily, you know, pulled a couple of cards for her, and it came up gibberish and nothing. But I was
that's
like,
insane.
I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
I was like, do you have a dog? And she goes, well, yeah. I said, well, did your dog mess with your bush? Well, how do I know? I don't know, but that's
May want to get a ring, sweetheart.
yeah. It's like and the mailbox was at the end of the road. Like it
So
wasn't even like she was worried about somebody peeping in her window or something like that, or
right.
someone actually prowling around. It was literally the bush by her mailbox at the end of the driveway.
Yeah,
That's the easiest reading in the planet, right?
Yeah. Let's see. I've had someone message me. I didn't do this reading, but because I don't do this kind of thing, period. But I had someone message me not long ago wanting me to do a reading to confirm she was the reincarnation of Queen Elizabeth.
What?
Yeah, and I've never advertised that service. I that's not in my wheelhouse. Um,
where's she
she was
getting
she was from
this?
Georgia too. At that,
Okay,
That explains a
where
lot.
does are you able to profile her a little bit to understand where she's coming from?
um, I did not say a whole lot to that one, to be perfectly honest with you. Okay, I think I said no. That's not the kind of thing I do, and that's not what I'm into. Have a great day. And she messaged me back. I'll pay you double. I was like, no, 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 no. We're not doing this. But she wanted confirmation. She was proof that she was the reincarnation of Queen Elizabeth II, who only died a few years ago.
Yeah. Well, you
Right.
also have the Anastasia person that
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Tsar
was it
Nicholas II.
Audubon?
No, it was
Yeah,
Tsar Nicholas II of Russia, but they proved his daughter died with him a few years ago.
yeah, but there are people who have convinced themselves that they are a surviving
Oh
member
yeah,
of
I've gotten some.
royalty.
I've gotten some strange messages and some strange requests just in general, not even about readings. I've had people message me and tell me we were married in a past life, and I was like,
So we were.
"Oh,
That's
okay,
why we're divorced in this life. Okay, fuck
yeah,
off. I would have
uh,
said to the
But they
lady with
want
the
alimony, right?
yeah,
yeah,
the Queen Elizabeth. I would like show me Queen Elizabeth. You know, and
yeah."
bing. I'm sorry,
Bing.
you get to steal.
Eh,
That's what I
Um,
would have done to him. I'm like, I'm sorry. Come back next week.
yeah,
Holy crap. But Wayne's like, no one wants to deal with reality. Yeah, it's so true. And whenever I hear someone answer a question with, I feel that, I turn off my hearing. Feeling lies don't make decisions based on whether it feels good. There's certain things that feel good, and men make plenty of those decisions to go back to that. That doesn't mean it's actually good for you, though. But we can get
yeah,
killed on those things. Thank you very much. I'll be dead this weekend. But yeah, it's the truth is terrible. But I would totally use that Family Feud thing. I'm like, oh, hold on, let me see it. Bang! No, you're not the reincarnation of Queen Elizabeth.
yeah.
Move the fuck
That
on.
one, that one was definitely an interesting. Oh, oh,
the
oh.
pharaohs.
Here's one for you. Here's one for you. This has nothing to do with the reading, but I've gotten messages like this several times. Okay, where people have messaged me and said, "I'm a practitioner too. My magic comes directly from the lost city of Atlantis, as were my ancestors, and you need to recognize me as your superior." And I'm like, "Superior, this asshole."
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
I've
Holy
encountered the
shit.
people who are reincarnated from ISIS, and
Yeah,
uh,
That
yeah,
is
you're not.
just that's crazy, Mark. That Atlantis, and I'm your superior. Yeah.
yeah. I've had this happen a couple times. They told me that their magic came directly from the city of Atlantis.
Yeah,
It's passed down through It was passed down to them through their ancestors, who their ancestors were Atlanteans, and I need to recognize them as my superior. And I'm like, superior that, go fuck
Yeah.
yourself.
I would have said, yeah, I have two words for you. They're not happy birthday.
Yeah, you
Uh,
can kiss my red ass.
exactly. We have a question for Old Goth
What's up?
Witch. Question: have you ever done a reading that you can tell there is a mental illness of some kind? I have, and gave their money back because I felt I needed to.
Yes, I have. That happens a lot.
yeah. I think that's what we're talking about now. Several cases we've just
Right.
spoken about.
When someone's, yeah, well, I've had it where they were obviously mentally ill, like where it wasn't just I'm not trying to, I don't know how to word this, where it wasn't so subtle that they were mentally ill, you know what I mean?
It's right in your face. Yeah,
It,
no, I
like,
know
it's right in your
exactly what
face.
you're
Like,
talking
I've
about.
had people message me demanding the night's winning lottery numbers.
Yeah.
And for I had people messaging me that, or set up a reading, and then they were just talking complete gibberish when I answered. And yeah, I've refunded several readings from that. The one I get is another one I get is people obviously under the influence of drugs. And
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't mean I don't
But
mean ganja. I mean they were obviously under the influence of something else.
yeah, the
right.
talking gibberish sounds like I've heard that one too.
Yeah, You'll you
incoherent
will
speech.
know when someone is genuine. I don't know if you've ever encountered. You can tell when someone's genuinely mentally ill. I worked in a mental health institution when I was younger. Okay, you can tell when someone's genuinely mentally ill just by looking them in the face and hearing what comes out of their mouth. Like when it's they're like genuinely their cheese has left the cracker kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean it gets a little bit weird. I'm gonna go and put this up another thing from Vincent Richardson. What are your thoughts on generational curses? Which is very interesting. I'd like to hear
I
this.
don't believe in them.
Okay,
I,
so you,
I'm sorry, I don't believe in them. I've heard of them. And I'll tell you why. You know, I've known people that swore up and down they were generationally cursed, and then I met their brother, and their brother was a lawyer. I've met people that swore their family's been cursed for 7 generations, and it's like, oh, my dad owned a business, my dad did this, my dad did this, my dad did this. Well, my uncle did that, my brother does this. Well, how is your family doing all of that if your entire bloodline's been cursed?
right.
And I've encountered that quite a lot.
So do you think I always thought there are rules to the road. I'm just gonna say it out there in the universe. Like evil has to tell you what they're gonna do to you. And if you don't balk at it, then it's silence is consent. And under the God aspect of it, God always needs a witness. You know, I want you to be the witness of this and whatever.
Yeah,
So
no, I can't say anything about that because I'm trying to think of a way to word this one. I don't follow any of those rules whatsoever about evil has to tell you what it's going to do, the threefold rule, any of it. And I don't really put a whole lot of stock in any kind of Christian theology whatsoever. I never have, and I never will.
right.
So that's just not something I've
So,
ever believed
you
in or
know,
followed.
that was along the lines of how can you curse what is not seen? You know, you're cursing the individual at point A. You can't curse something that is not involved in this is just my interpretation, my
Right.
thought process. You can't,
Exactly.
yeah, like so an unborn child
Yeah.
cannot be cursed, or the spouse of you cannot be cursed. They may be cursed just by being with you, be it male or female. But
Right.
so like I don't think there is a generational curse. But that was a great question, Vincent.
Yeah. That's
Um,
a great question, honestly. I've seen too much to tell me otherwise. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I,
Yeah,
and
I have maybe a similar question. Y- you were talking a while ago. You brought up the kitchen witch using ingredients. Um, i- is are the herbs and recipes, if that's the right word, uh, from the Middle East better? And does that show like
now,
some kind
now,
of ancient traditions?
now that is a very good question. Okay. And I will say this. I have noticed that sometimes the older origins of something, a la something from the Middle East, the more exotic the area it comes from, the more kind of oomph it has behind it, so to speak, and the more the faster results kind of show up. I have noticed that you can say that is what I'm trying to say. You can say that in certain circumstances, yes.
so the older the magic, the more powerful the magic, or the
Yeah,
older the
you can
root.
say that if it's authentic. You know what I mean? Like the Necronomicon is not an authentic book. It was actually written by H.P. Lovecraft in the 1900s. None of that would work. It's all stuff Lovecraft um, spit out. But then there's other books from the Middle East. there's other books from that time. There's the Egyptian Book of the Dead, stuff like that.
It,
Sometimes the older it is, the better it works, and the more it's
yeah,
noticeable when it's doing. You know.
and you also have to consider the Crusaders making their way back to Europe and passing through the Middle East, and
Yes,
I I did read a book that was it was just more of like a book on what Templars learned during the Middle Ages during travels. That was I'm sorry I don't have the book in front of me. Um,
I know what you're talking about. I have a good idea of what you're talking about. I spent some time reading about the Templars when I was a kid.
okay, no, I'm no, I was just saying that
Yeah.
that's what the author was s-
Yeah,
focusing on in some of the parts of his book. What the just different exchanges
yeah, it's
uh, 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 between different cultures. What are people learning from each other as they traveled?
absolutely. It's it's cross pollination. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
beautiful thing about humanity. We cross pollinate each other for good and bad. But yeah, to answer your question, yes, I do think that is quite possible. That it's that that's a very applicable statement. Is that some of the stuff, some of the old traditions from like the Middle East and the Asian traditions, stuff like that. The older and the Egyptians, and the older it is, sometimes the more just punch it packs.
That's when you talked about Crowley, one of the things he did was he
Probably.
started looking into the Egyptian rites
Yeah,
um, that are no longer practiced under Freemasonry for specific reasons that no one really knows, but it scared the shit out of him when he did it. So
Crowley was
sometimes, yeah, go ahead.
Crowley was tapped into some whole other stuff.
Yeah,
Crowley was not a good person, and I'm the first person to admit that. Crowley was a terrible person, but he was tapped into some whole different kind of stuff, man.
yeah. I mean, he did a I'm going to use the word spell, but he did a process, and he opened up this portal,
Yep.
and what was standing on the other side of the portal scared him enough, he immediately closed it.
Yeah.
um so this is the problem we have in this world, where we have people playing around with colliders, and they don't really know. Well, I think the people are playing around with the hydrogen, the large particle colliders, are specifically trying to do something or open a doorway to a specific entity, and it's not a positive entity.
No, it's
and
not.
and they want, because of their belief system or whatever they got suckered into, talking about old world magic and shit like that. And it's like giving a 5-year-old kid a loaded hair triggered 45 Magnum.
Yeah, it
Not a
really
good
is.
not a good idea.
Not the smartest
um
decision.
no. And that's where we will go, show us playing with handguns. Dang.
Ding.
I'm gonna use that from now on. I gotta get that sound effect, because I've got a ton of them on this Roadcaster, and I could put them in. I can put the applause in and
Hell yeah.
whatever. But you know, I'm just trying to, yeah, CERN. We were talking about CERN for yeah, it's a really, really dark stuff. Vincent came up with another one. What's your thoughts on Goeta?
Goeta. What is Goeta?
Is
It's
does
basically
he mean
witchcraft.
Gaia?
Grotto?
Is it Goeta, or am I pronouncing it wrong?
I, it's a new one on me, whatever it is.
Well, it's basically the practicing or summoning or controlling demons, kind of
I
like what
personally don't.
Solomon was supposedly
I,
did.
I personally do not believe in the word demons.
Uh,
Okay.
eh, 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 he's talking about Jimmy Page's house, like Bolskin house.
Yeah, Jimmy Page owned Aleister Crowley's house.
Yeah, Jimmy Page's house.
But yeah, personally, I don't believe in the word demons at all.
Really? Well, do you believe in the angel version, angels, or
I
no?
don't believe in angels. I don't believe in. I. There's only one way for me to state this. I don't believe in Christian theology, and I avoid most of the terms.
Not a
Uh,
problem, and that's that's
I,
not
I
a problem.
don't. I don't believe in angels. I don't believe in angel numbers. I don't believe in demons. I don't believe in.
Do you believe it like there is a power or something?
I believe there's something on the other side of the veil,
Okay. Yeah,
and I
no,
believe
no
there are
one's
things on the
judging
other
you.
side of the
That's
veil.
yeah.
I believe that there are spirits and entities on the other side of the veil that we just don't know how to interpret. But I avoid the term angel, demon, any of that like the plague.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean some people do. The individual I told you about is also in does witch and I guess I don't know if he's a warlock. He's just crabby. He talks about source. He talks about like its source is everywhere. Doesn't give a shit if you're breathing. It's just this.
Croatia is a grimoire.
Yeah. Well,
I, I pulled up the chat on
is it
YouTube. It
grimoire?
says Croatia is a grimoire, like a
Okay.
book, like a spell book.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I mean, it's summoning demons. Basically, what Solomon initially did, and then that book got out, and other people started using it apparently, or whatever it is. But he was controlling not really demons as much as the jinn, and that's the Muslim.
Yeah,
Those are the beings that were here on Earth before, supposedly before God created the heavens and the earth and put man down there and said he's going to rule. And they hate us, and there's a lot of jinn stories. They're really weird creatures that can change. They talk about switching or glamour or changing their appearance. But getting back on some stuff, you do anything with like I know you do a lot of luck spells, right? Things to help you out, kind of.
yeah. I like Lucky Charms. I like luck charms. I like little kind of folk belief like that. I've always really loved stuff like that for some reason.
And what's the deal with red brick dust?
Well, red brick dust is actually a multi-use component. You can use it as a protective element. Okay. You can put it underneath your doormat on the way in. You can put it in a little red jar or a little vial to keep around you to act as a just general well-being charm.
Oh,
You can also use red brick dust for blessings on people.
so it's just you rub a brick and take some dust with it.
I,
Is there
I'll like, let's say I find a brick at an old house. You could take a brick at an old house that's like torn down, or you find a brick somewhere and just smash it into dust and gather it up.
Oh, that's cool.
Because, brick comes from the earth and it's, obviously organic components that have been in the earth a very long time and it's absorbed a lot of energy. So,
Yeah, Vincent said he's thanking you for the answer. No, I
oh,
always
you're
tell
welcome.
people something that you can keep on you as a protective device is actually salt.
Yes.
And I used to pour. I preferred salt that was I don't know, through religious ceremony. So kosher salt or whatever is, goes back to something that's been blessed. And I used to keep it in like a little, one of these little sandwich bags type of thing, or a smaller bag, pill bag like this. And I'd keep it, just pour it in the bag and keep it in my pocket. And then over time, with it getting pressed, I heavily doubt you should do that because it sure as hell looks like you have a bag of cocaine in your pocket. So I told everybody to switch to the little packets of salt that you get at restaurants.
Salt is salt. I mean,
Yeah.
so absolutely. I'll go to Michael's and buy the little vials, like decorative vials with a cork in them, and I'll make black salt, which is Himalayan sea salt, and then I'll burn Palo Santo, the
Oh,
holy wood, down into a black powder, and I'll crunch it up in the salt together. and I'll put them in little glass vials with red wax over top of them because red is a protective color in my traditions, and I give those out as gifts to people sometimes.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So I was going to ask you about black salt. So that's salpalto burnt, crushed into.
You can use any kind of ash to make black salt. It just has to be from a fire you made. I've even seen people use their ashtray for black salt. It
No
just has to be
fire.
from fire
Yeah.
you created.
So I have to rub the sticks together, or can I
No,
light
you
it
just have to
together?
light the fire. No, 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 no. I actually weave that into a couple of my videos. Um,
Okay.
because I use a yellow torch in my video, right?
Right.
You've seen it. I'll get that one a lot. People will message me or comment. Real witches only use matches, and I'm like, fuck you.
No, they don't.
This is 2025.
Yeah.
Embrace modern technology. And
How you
who the
go?
fuck are you to tell me what a real witch does anyway?
Yeah. Well, you always have the naysayers out there.
Yeah,
So that
but
just do shit.
it's just fire ash from fire you made, however you make it. You don't have to rub two sticks together. You don't have to bang two rocks together. If you sit there with your torch and just heat up, pieces of paper, you have made ash,
Yeah.
and then you
Fire
can
is
add that
fire.
into black salt. Yeah,
I mean,
fire is fire.
to be brutally honest, folks, trying to get matches these days is virtually impossible. I mean, you have to buy. I had to buy like a whole bag of them from Amazon because I wanted to keep matches on for cigar purposes or whatever. But
Well,
yeah.
2 years ago, I bought 4 cans of butane. I still have 3 of them, so it's actually cheaper.
Oh, I have those because I'll smoke cigarette or cigar. I just picked this up because if you use it too much, the butane actually, depending on what you're using, clogs up your lines, and you have to go clean them out. And I was on the road, so I wasn't cleaning shit. I just needed to get my cigarette lit. But can we talk about manifesting? The
Sure.
good, the bad, the ugly of that is I believe that you can do it. Is there keys to it?
Absolutely. When you manifest something, you have to mean it from here and in here, okay? And I don't know how to word that other than that. You have to push it from your mind and your heart at the same time. And that's the most important part. It's unshakable belief that you can manifest this thing into existence. You can bring about this situation for yourself.
So what's the best method? Is it like a meditation type of thing and then focusing on it?
That's how I've always done it.
Okay.
That's how I start off with a very grounded, a very deep meditation on it. And then
Yeah.
my consciousness, when I'm going through my regular day, I think about this coming into existence.
Right. And you actually, I mean, what I've done is I've seen it come into existence. I see myself pulling up I see myself holding up a check or money, in hand or whatever coming to me at that point, so I thought that was pretty interesting. Got a couple more for you if you don't mind. Won't
Sure.
keep you that much longer. You mentioned something about paying homage to the Fae, which is
Yeah.
very interesting.
All right. This is one of my favorite stories to tell when people bring this up. There are stories about the Fae from all over the world. That's one thing that I have learned about doing this. They call them various things in various places, but I've talked to people in New Zealand that have stories about the Fae. I've talked to people in South Africa, England, and all over the world. I honestly think human beings have been on Earth way longer than any religion or scholar gives us credit for. I think we have been here a very long time, and we are survivors from something else. And I think there are things left here that from those times. So the old witch had this stump out in the backyard. It was a dead stump that still grew flowers around it. And she would go out and she would have these metal dishes she would sit on there, and she would fill one with bugler rolling tobacco. You know what that is?
Yeah,
And
I know
Yeah,
exactly
and
what
the old blue
it is.
cat. She would fill one in those, and she would add a couple of rolling papers beside it. The next dish, she would take that. You remember back in the 70s and 80s, everybody's grandma had that bag of mixed up candy that they put in a dish on.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, she would take
Halloween.
some of that and dump that in the next one, and then she would leave a pitcher of very sugary water sitting there on that stump, and this shit would disappear. And I don't mean an animal got into it and knocked it over. I mean, the stuff was gone, every bit of it, and the damn pitcher was dry within an hour or two.
Wow.
Yeah.
They must have loved your nana.
I believe that there are ways that you can establish relationships with things, with entities, with things like the Fae, the Duende. Uh, I believe it's entirely possible.
And are they, when you establish this as an offering, as you know, relationship, do they help in the process of
Yes.
doing witchy shit? Or
Yes, the Fae will aid you in your witch shit. They'll aid you in your garden. They'll aid you in a lot of things. But you have to take the relationship with the Fae extremely seriously because they do too.
yeah, no, I know about that. We have a
And
friend that was on the show, and they have some, and it's the Fae.
yeah,
And they gave him, well, originally his name was because he wanted them off the property that this woman's sister was on, that was Lynn Monet, that was on our show. And he used to like scream at her, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, so they called him fuck you. But eventually I told him how to give him cookies, give him milk. You can make them offerings and treat them fair, and they actually became, there's a relationship there.
yeah,
And his name is Bob now. She calls him Bob, and he reacts to it. And he looks like this. I've seen him in person, by the way, at the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. He was sitting there, and his feet were moving back and forth like windshield wipers. And I noticed he was there, and she said, "Yep, Bob's here." She even got people that, where did the little boy go that was sitting there? And they would see him because he would be visible to people. And she was like, oh, he went to get something to eat, whatever. But they were actually looking at the Fae. So I was just wondering about the Fae then. And where do you get most of your ingredients? And
Walmart,
that's what I was going to, Walmart.
Walmart, and the Dollar Tree.
That's great.
I don't. That's another thing. Since we've come full circle, okay. There's a
Yeah.
lot of people on TikTok and on the internet, whatever, that'll tell you you can only use this. You have to buy it from here. It has to be this certain type.
No.
And then, oh, by the way, I also sell it. There's a lot of those out there.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
cinnamon is cinnamon. Okay.
Yeah.
Sage is sage. Clove is clove. Salt is salt. It doesn't matter where you get it from. It doesn't matter where you bought it from. Are certain ones a little better than others? Yes. Can you get the exact same place with table salt as you can pink Himalayan sea salt? Also, yes.
Yeah. I mean, as far as purity is concerned, you're right. Sage is sage, cloves are cloves. I mean, most of the stuff that goes about it is simple. But when you get it, I saw an interesting video he had on about colored candles, because some of these spells take on colored candles. Each color has a different meaning, but I'm sure that will be in the book.
It is.
Okay, so we're not going to go too deep in it, and I don't want to kill him. We're almost out of time with the Old Goth Witch. But you pointed out, and this is what I love about you. You point out, don't buy those candles. They're on top. Those are the ones that are always promoted. Go down, and those are the $9 candles. Those are great. Or
Yeah. I bought 4 boxes of candles off Amazon for $40, and they're mixed assorted colors. Don't go buy the ones, the ones at the top that are always promoted. They don't stay lit. I scrolled down just a little ways, and I found the one that I was willing to pay for. And that was what I showed everybody. That's also why I did the Dollar Tree Witchcraft haul videos. Those were some of my original ones. But yeah, there's no need. It's witchcraft, folks.
Yeah,
Our ancestors were doing this, 2,000 years ago with stuff they had to go out and, you know, fight a bear to get.
Yeah. I mean, but what I loved about the candle thing was you even said it yourself that you did try those candles at one point and they sputter and they pop and like that's a dangerous thing. Like you don't want to be engulfed by your own flames. You want to, you know,
No, you don't.
safe environment, you know. We won't keep you too much longer. I want to ask because the book will be coming out and once it comes out, please let me know so I can add it to there. I want to add a link to it. So hopefully people can come back to it. But your paranormal experiences. You do talk about a lot of them on your Instagram and the TikTok page, but is there one experience that was like a holy shit moment?
Oh yeah, I was in the bathroom of my favorite bar taking a leak with a bladder full of Modelo, and the old owner came out of the wall at me.
Holy crap!
Yeah, I was. It was my anniversary with my ex. It was a Saturday night at the Goth bar here in town in Tulsa, the Starlight. I had a bladder full of Modelo and about 4 shots of vodka in me. I'm sitting here at the wall, one hand on the wall, one hand, you know, handling my business.
Doing the
And all of a
thing.
sudden, the guy in a jumper walked out of the wall at me, like an old
That's
mechanic's jumper. That was,
crazy.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
scared the piss out of me, literally.
Well, you know, with that in mind, I'm going to tell you something. So my apartment up in New York City, the whole building is a lot of hauntings in it, a lot of stuff. I was using the facilities in my apartment. This was years ago. And I saw what was like a flash to my right. So to my right, I'm on the throne. You got the sink right next to me, and then there's a tub. And I saw it from over there. I'm like, what the hell was that? And I looked down, and my my hand to God, this little window opens up, and I kid you not, is probably maybe 3 inches, 4 inches tall, wide. And this little thing popped its head out. It looked at me. I looked at it, little guy, something. And we both was like, holy shit. And he ran back in and went, and it disappeared.
That's fucking crazy.
And I was just like, I was thinking, like, I did take a lot of acid in high school,
Yeah, right.
you know, and some meth. And I'm like, but it was legit. I remember it like it was yesterday.
I'm
And
almost positive my apartment I live in now is haunted.
oh, it probably is. You know, you being gifted the way you are and having your abilities, you know, it's like a beacon in that ether. And
Yeah,
you're like, come
I,
here.
I randomly hear, because this building's 120 years old. I randomly hear jazz music and smell unfiltered camels in the middle of the night.
Do you hear a woman talking like this?
No, God, no! I wouldn't be living here if I woke up in the middle of the night hearing that. I'd be like, "Holy shit,
I need
Dame
to keep
Edna's
it
come back."
you know, like, whoa.
Yeah.
But again, I can't thank you enough. Mark, do you have any more questions or anything for Ye Old Goth Witch?
No, I'm content.
He's content. He needs to know like where his life. Well, I need to know my life direction, but he needs. I think we need to. I'm gonna book a reading with Ye Old Goth Witch for you, but I got to get you on Instagram. I don't even know if you're on Instagram. You on Instagram?
I'm
Mark?
not. Nope.
You're not? Well, you should be.
No, I just
Um,
have my hands full with just
well, it's all
what
part
I
of
have.
Facebook or Meta. I mean, Meta. Their logo
Yeah,
looks like an old pair of shrivelly balls.
it
That's
really does.
yeah. Like, go figure. Kind of like with all the ladies out there, you guys like Lululemon, and their logo looks like an IUD. But every time I go there, can't shop at a store where your logo looks like an IUD. It's
Yeah.
not gonna fucking happen for me, and they don't fit guys like me anyhow. But what's next after? Are you doing any other shows? Are you going to be an appearance?
Starting this winter, I'm going to be making some more paranormal content. I'm kind of going to put the witchcraft stuff to bed for a little while,
Sure.
just because I've made a lot of it, and now I want to make paranormal content. We're going to be doing some on location stuff. I've got a friend that's going to help me shoot some video. I'm probably going to write a second book called "Let's Talk to Ghosts and Shit." which will
Hey,
be some of my paranormal experiences and stuff like that.
well, if you would allow us, you have a key to the to Third Eye Live. We'd love to have you back on if you want to promote it anytime. Just let us know.
I
And
absolutely would love to.
I am thankful and appreciative. I actually got to you, sir. And if I ever do get to meet you in person in the area, I'm like, what's up? I'm gonna
I'd
get your
love to hang
size,
out.
yeah, for the t-shirts that I do, and I'll send you a couple of those. And I can send you a couple. I'll send you pictures of some of the shirts I have. If you want one, let me know. I did
Sweet.
a Bigfoot. I still, because I do cryptids, paranormal stuff, readings. I do it all, and I'm not, this is not monetized. And if it is, I don't care. I'd like it to be monetized. I'm not
And you
fooling
appear
myself.
and you appear with Penny.
Yes, and I appear with Penny, which will be tomorrow morning, by the way, 9 to 9:30 on Awake Nation. I'll be there, and we're going to be talking about the fucking earthquakes that are taking place. And apparently, the Atlas, I don't know what the hell it is, meteor, whatever, it's going to come and kill us.
Yeah.
We'll figure that one out. But I do appreciate you being on the show, and anybody that needs to get in touch with Yield Witch, his information, I would say let's keep it simple. Go to his Instagram first. You can
I'm on
message him,
everything as Ye Old Goth Witch.
right,
Yep.
but or you can ask me, and I'll do a message to both of you on Instagram saying, hey, Yield, Witch, this is JV, you discuss, and then you take it from there.
Yep.
This is how I like to do it. I don't give out anybody's information unless I ask first. We do have a new, we actually have a postal address, but we'll do that the next time. Just so you know, I'm going to tell you this right now. My daughter goes to college next week. 99% chance we're not going to have a show, but we will have a rerun. The following week, we're working on getting some guys, people on here. I believe it's Max Hawthorne, if I'm correct, Mark. And he's going to talk about his documentary with the big cat, and shape-shifting cats. But I am also doing the Crossing Realms conference at the end of September, and I'm driving to and from. So they're going to be a couple of weeks on Wednesdays. You're not going to see us. I will do my best to, do something. It may be a rerun from the old shows with Ron Murphy on Inside the Goblin Universe. But again, we're doing the best we can, but I have certain requirements I have to take care of. And Mark is working on his OnlyFans page.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, he's I only have one fan anyhow. But again, Yield Goth Witch, I wish you a blessed day. He does DJ work too, so hire him. You can hire him for readings, and go check him out. Make him famous in a good way. And
Appreciate you for having me on.
oh, my pleasure. I thought it was fun, and hopefully you were like, okay, these guys are all right.
Yeah, I'd love to do it again.
Yeah, I always close it with another song that I wrote. And if it wasn't for you, sir, and Mark, and everybody that's been in chat, and everybody that's going to download it a little bit later on. Oh, I'm also on BMR's show at 1 p.m. Eastern with Monica. We're talking about dream interpretation tomorrow. And Michelle Brandenburg at 9 o'clock. I'm doing way too many shows. But if it wasn't for all of you, I would not be doing this. And I do appreciate you. You all have prayers, healing, recovery, blessings sent your way. And you know what? Don't be the normal person. Actually do nice shit for people.
Absolutely.
Give people some compliments.
Absolutely.
That's how I would like to do it. But again, until next time, God bless. Play the lottery.
You, it's always been you. God showed me you. I have been searching decades for you. I found you, I lost you. My heart is broken without you. My soul aches for you. I need you, I want you. My days are filled with you. I've seen the future with you. My home is with you. I have felt the future with you. My nights are filled with you. Love is you. True love is you. My happiness is you. Every past life is with you. My dreams are filled with you. Life is meaningless without you. My future is with you. I will fight for you. I will defend you. I will give up my life for you. Whatever it takes for you. Nothing else matters but you. I love you. I love you. I love you. God showed me you. I have been searching decades for you. I found you. I lost you. My heart is broken without you. My soul aches for you. I need you. I want you. My days are filled with you. I have seen the future with you. My home is with you. I have felt the future with you. My nights are filled with you. Love is you, true love is you. Love is you, true love is you. My happiness is you. Every past life is with you. My dreams are filled with you. Life is meaningless without you. My future is with you. I will fight for you. I will defend you. I will give up my life for you. Whatever it takes for you. Nothing else matters but you. I love you. I love you. Life is meaningless without you. My future is with you.